Hello, I'm Lamisile Pamela Ngubane, and this is the Entity Dynamics podcast. Entity Dynamics is a culture development consultancy. So I'm going to carry on with the topic of career development and career conceptualization. So in terms of career conceptualization, the title of this video is Know Thyself. So at the temple of Apollo in Delphi in Greece, that was the motto on the wall outside the temple, know thyself. And I think from my own musings, the reason why that motto was on the temple in Delphi was because Apollo was telling people, if you're going to consult this oracle, know that whatever you are is going to be what makes the prophecy true and fulfilled, So I think this is where a self-fulfilling prophecy comes in. Because if you are a particular type of person, you are going to have certain reactions which will lead to certain outcomes, right? So if you're someone who's completely in their ego and obsessed with maintaining material dominance in this world, then you'll act in ways which will undermine your spiritual development and lead to decisions which seem like in the long term they are beneficial, but are actually only short term, and in the long run will probably undermine, your purpose on this planet, right? Similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, you have to live your purpose on this planet. You can't try and be someone else, because if you do that, you're going to be undermining the reason why you're here. And it's a very serious problem if you do that. So similarly, when you're conceptualizing your career, you need to know yourself. Who are you? What are you about? Why are you on this planet? What makes you tick? What do you like? What don't you like? Who are you? The good, the bad, and the ugly, because we're humans. So we've got good, bad, and ugly sides. All of us. There's no one who's perfect. There's no angels here, unless there are angels who are here to do something specific. But we're all humans. We've got issues. We've had our traumas. We've made mistakes. We've hurt people. We've been hurt by people, So get in touch with yourself completely. Know what makes you tick. Know what triggers you. Know what makes you angry. Know what makes you bored. Know what makes you happy. Know what makes you laugh, and then also examine yourself and see if you're happy with how you respond to things. Think of, are you happy with what makes you laugh? Because there's some people and some of us on this planet who think it's extremely funny when people get hurt or when people are undermined or made fun of or something. Personally, I don't think it's appropriate to be made happy or joyful at another person's misfortune. It's really problematic, I think, and I think it defines you a lot, what kind of person you are in terms of what entertains you. So look at all these things, what do you find entertaining? And if it doesn't match your vision of what you think is a good person or a person that you would be proud to be associated with or someone you would admire, then, do what you need to do to find out why you have that, which entertains you. So know yourself, decide on a career that is going to fulfill you for the rest of your life. Also, look at the fact that you're probably going to also choose a career based on the fact that you're interested in a particular type of activity in this world. I personally am very much into communication and teaching and conveying information, so I find myself in that type of field. Research, teaching, speaking like I am now, learning things and teaching other people, writing, fiction and nonfiction, I'm really interested in that type of stuff. And it's all in the realm of communication, using my voice, using ideas, philosophizing to some degree, even though I don't think I'm a philosopher as such, but I do like to philosophize about the human condition and what it means to be an earthling human. So know yourself. It's really important to know what makes you bored. Because if you're going to find yourself in situations that make you feel bored, even if you're good at that thing, you might find that it's just maybe not the thing you want to be doing with yourself at your core, even though you might be good at it, because if something bores you, even though you might be good at it, and you make it your career, you're going to be boring yourself for like the rest of your life. So maybe find in that space something in that space which is more stimulating, and make that your career. So for example, on myself, in terms of communication and studying and knowledge assimilation, the nonfiction academic, highly referenced, cross-referenced type of world, I find it boring. I'm good at it. I can do it. I can write a research paper, no problem. I know how to research. I know how to cross-reference. I know how to write an argument. I learned all that stuff when I was doing my history degree. But I'm not into academics. I find it boring. I personally more prefer to think about the world in the way I think about the world, and to talk about the world in the way I understand it. I'm not interested in having to reference someone, and do all that technical academic stuff. I find it boring, but I can do it, but it's not really for me, I'm much more interested, like I say, in conveying my understanding of the human condition and of the world to people, which is what I'm doing now. And I really enjoy doing it. That's why I'm just doing it, because I need to do it. There's a lot of fulfillment I'm getting from doing this as I'm doing it right now. Like I said, I hope I will find myself getting speaking engagements that pay me. That'll be super cool. I'm hoping I can grow my channel and monetize it so I can earn a living from this. That's cool. But abundance isn't just only monetary. It's also that sense of personal fulfillment. And I'm getting a deep sense of fulfillment right now from making these videos. And if people like them and they feel like they've enriched their understanding in some way, even better. I feel really good about that. And that's a source of abundance. It makes me feel happy, so I think about what is abundance to you? What is it that makes you feel fulfilled? How does fulfillment look to you? Is it only monetary, or is it a combination of monetary and also feeling inside that you are doing a service to humanity? So really get to know yourself, and be careful also of what people tell you about yourself and what people tell you you are. Because in this world, you must understand, we're living in a world where there is a lot of very corrupt ideas and understandings of what life is, what a human being is, what God is, what creation is, what the soul is. Many corrupt understandings. And as a result, people are not able to actually navigate in an informed way, even in their own lives. People are told things like, you must care what other people think. There's a point, yes, where you must, don't act like a freaking psycho, Don't traumatize people with your behavior. Obviously, don't do that. But also, don't diminish who you are to make other people comfortable in your presence. Because in the reality is, a lot of us will find ourselves in spaces where people are not comfortable with our presence because we are determined to be the best we can be. And other people don't want that pressure. And so they will make you feel like you think you're better than them because you want the best for yourself. And they've given up, they've settled, they don't care. Okay. So just know yourself, know what you're worth, and go for it. Thank you. Bye bye.